So when you go to a community college, you're generally supposed to buy a parking permit that allows you to park in the parking lots, because if you don't have one, or more rather, when you don't get one, you either have to not park in the parking lots, or you get a ticket for parking in the parking lots. And so one way I have found that a cheaper way to go about going to a community college, I mean, community college is already pretty cheap, so if you're not worried about it, that's cool, but I'm still a little bit stingy because right now it is summertime and I'm not always here. I'm taking online classes. I just have to be here every once in a while to like update, you know, something, or to like upload videos, or to like meet one of my counselors or something like that. I'm not gonna be here like every day, so I don't really feel like paying $20 for a parking permit where I can just park up the street in some like suburban area and walk down to the school. So that's what you can do. That's a tip. If you're not gonna be there at school every day because it's like summer school or you're online or whatever, don't buy a ticket, don't buy a parking permit, just so you can be there a few days of the summer or the semester or whatever. I have found that saves a lot, saves you the trouble of getting the ticket as well and waiting for it in the mail. And so yeah, there's a tip. Good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to work, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about how to get around in a cheap way at a cheap community college. Why I even want to talk about this that's all I do. That's like my schedule for this summer. And so yeah, like if you can help it, don't bother buying a parking permit. Also, number two, with going to a community college, it kind of sometimes implies for some people that you're not rich enough to go to a really big 4-year expensive college. You can get like all of your credits that you need for that, and then sometimes get a scholarship to help you get through school at a 4-year or whatever. And so what I hope most community colleges, they offer financial aid, and since we qualified for it, me and my brother both have financial aid at our schools, and it helps tremendously because then I don't have to worry about, like giving a bunch of $100 bills for just a few classes, and it's really nice, and I am very, very grateful for it. If I was super duper rich, then that wouldn't be a problem, but I'm not, my mom is not, and so we're trying to like take advantage of any support we can, and it's been very helpful for us, so we're super grateful for that. And so if you qualify for it, don't keep chucking money you don't have. You gotta take it up. Also, this is a big one. At any school, any college, people are just willing to buy books. People are like, I gotta get these books for class. If I don't have them, I'm not gonna pass this class. Dude, I have been through so many classes where they have said, you need this book, you need it by this day, get it, or you won't pass the class. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, give me a brown paper bag so I can have an anxiety attack in it. It's just, everyone freaks out. And what I have learned is that there's a library right down the street, or right down the hallway from you guys. They have books on reserve. They may not be the exact edition that you need, but they're the same thing. And you rent them out for 3 hours at a time. You get your homework done, you go home. You got nothing to do at home now. You don't have to like pay for a book. Some books are like $100 and you're just like, what the heck? I'm not paying $100 for a book that's, gonna need to be returned after a while. Anyways, so that's like a big no-no in my book. I don't like that idea. So I get them at the library, I rent them out, or I go to my library in town and I see if they have the book and I rent it out from there for 3 weeks. And so there have been semesters where I've never needed to buy a book because I rent them out from a library, and then I just give them back when I'm all done, and that has saved me a lot of money. What you can also do, if it's like, if you're trying to step away from the whole buying part, is that you can still buy the book. Try and sell it back though when you're all done. Try, like what we do at my school is that you can buy them, and then there's like a week left when there's a week left of school, you just say like, I'm gonna try and sell this back. So you either give it to the school or you sell it to someone else who will buy it off of you, and that works too. I don't really want to go through that whole process of trying to sell a book back. I think it's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's what you can do as well. So there are 3 things right there you can do to get around at a community college, at any college pretty much, if they have those options. So yeah.